Hello, Money Queens and listeners. Welcome to Women Behind the Millions. Let's meet the women behind the millionaires, the women supporting, guiding, celebrating women with their wealth. You will hear from women millionaires, how they got there, what they wish they had known, what got them to be a millionaire, the emotional side, the spiritual side, the practical side of wealth. You'll also get to meet the women behind the scenes helping make it happen. Let's dive into Women Behind the Millions. I am Jessica Weaver, your host, best-selling author of 3 books, wealth advisor, and founder of the Women's Wealth Boutique. Let's start meeting the women. Hello, Money Queens. Welcome to Women Behind the Millions. I'm Jessica Weaver, your host and founder of The Wealth Boutique, a female-focused financial firm. And we're doing a special mini-series here. We're calling it the Divine Disruptors. These women who are taking money and spirituality and changing the game. And that's what I love so much about this show and this movement, because I was born in the financial industry, and I was just talking to a wealth advisor about this the other day. I see women with millions of dollars who have the same fears, the same insecurities, these things looming over them, haunting them. It doesn't matter the amount of wealth until you change and turn your internal game. When we do some healing, when we look into the subconscious, it completely changes, ladies. And this woman that we have on with us tonight is a divine disruptor. She has cracked the code. We're going to get into it. Alyssa Goman, who's been on our show multiple times, has done and studied under our guest tonight and has become one of her certified heart healers. And I did a heart healing session with her the other week. I live by them. They are just incredible. So let's take a look a little bit about who we have on with us tonight. So we have with us Natasha Bray. She's the CEO and founder of the School of Healing Mastery, where she teaches her groundbreaking healing methods to others. With almost 20 years experience in education and transformational work, working with thousands of entrepreneurs over 104 countries worldwide, her work has helped women break through to higher levels of love, money, success, one session at a time. She says, from going from maternity leave to multimillion-dollar business in just 4 years, Natasha Leigh Bray is a multi-award-winning success mastery coach, transformational pioneer in the healing and business success industry. She helps high achievers, healers, and leaders rapidly receive and hold higher levels of success, love, wealth, and impact. Her 5-level psychology meets spirituality, healing approach, success imprinting, and revolutionary subconscious therapy, heart healing. Oh man, let's get her on here. Natasha Leigh Bray, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm really good, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for coming on. You just came off of an incredible week. Your movie premiered. What's the title of the movie? And can you take us into that night of walking the red carpet to your movie premiere?
Oh, it's called Zero Limits, The Real Secret to Attracting Miracles. And the aim of the film is to go beyond the movie The Secret, which lots of people have heard of the book and that movie. And it features Joe Vitale, who was in the original film The Secret. He's a really big legend in the spiritual and transformational space. And he wanted me to be an expert in his film, featuring heart healing, which is my therapy that you just mentioned, and my story, really, because I am the embodiment of my work and I've achieved, I guess, miraculous things and transformations in my own life. So we had a red carpet premiere of the film in Sacramento, in America. If you can't tell from my accent, I'm based in Wales, in the UK. So it's about a 24-hour door-to-door journey to get there. But it was so worth it to be essentially just feel like a movie star for the night. There was press there. There was people coming wanting their books signed. It was just amazing, really amazing to see this project that we've worked on for so long. That's all about the impact that it can create come to life on the big screen. Definitely a pinch me moment.
I can't even imagine. Take me to the moment when you found out they wanted you to be in the movie. That had to have been a surreal moment.
It was, and to be honest, it scared me. I will say, like, I had never done anything like this. I am more of an introvert, so I like to I prefer to write and write books and share my thoughts and my impact through writing and creating. So this was a very different way to be seen. And as part of my journey, I'm sure if there's other entrepreneurs listening as well, being seen and being visible has definitely been something that I've had to work on. And so actually it happened the way it happened with funny. I shared a story with my email list about how I ended up manifesting getting married on Richard Branson's Necker Island. That's a whole story in itself.
Another moment we have to dive into tonight.
Huge. And somebody forwarded that email to the film producer. And then they asked if they could interview me and if I wanted to be part of this movie. So I said yes, first of all, and then I hid for about 6 months while I worked through all of the fear that was coming up. And yes, obviously went forward. And now it's just being premiered at the moment all around the world. And it will be out on Amazon Prime later this year.
Oh, I cannot wait. We're going to have a viewing party. We'll make sure to get this out again right before that comes out too. So keep us posted, please, Natasha. Please.
Okay.
Part of what I love about your work, and you have to follow her on social media, you are so vulnerable and genuine. And it's very refreshing to be in the wealth money coaching space as well. And you just mentioned you got this incredible opportunity and you hid for 6 months while you worked through your fears. That takes so much discipline, and also just to have the awareness of it happening as well. So I want to go back into what got you on this healing path into where you would now train others to do the work too.
Yeah. I feel like there's so much to tell.
So much to unpack.
So I've always been in healing professions, I guess, but didn't really know what a healer was back then.
Okay.
So I ended up working for helping victims of crimes in my earlier career. And I then also worked in homelessness services, and then eventually ended up in social work. So I would consider these something I call hidden healer jobs, where you are in these professional roles, but really you're in there because you have these gifts and this passion for helping people. And it was actually having my first child that was a catalyst for me to really go all in on my business, and also a catalyst in terms of it brought up a lot of the unhealed trauma from my past. I had quite a traumatic birth, and that brought up a lot of my childhood where I went through severe childhood abuse. And really brought a lot of that to the surface for me to work on. Also, seeing the eyes through the world of a mother, it's not just you that you have to heal for, right? It's your child. And so back then, I didn't really have a lot of worthiness, didn't have a lot of self-love, didn't really know what those things were. But I had the ability to do it for him until I was able to do it for me.
Wow. Almost breaking multi-generational patterns and chains as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I've always had a passion for helping people, helping change the world in some way. I found that helping people helped me in a way because I could see that there were actually, even though I've gone through horrific things, there's other people in the world who've been through a lot more that need help, right? So being able to help others gave me a purpose, and that helped me in a way overcome some of my past.
Yeah.
But then having my son, as I said, I would say that was the start of my true healing journey. Mm-hmm. And I had a little business on the side of my social work career at that point in time, very different to the work that I do now. And one of my problems from the past was that I struggled to have healthy relationships, romantic relationships, and struggled to have any sort of long-lasting romantic relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually set out to heal my heart to be able to find and keep love. And what happened as a side effect of that was my business exploded. So I found, accidentally, I found this correlation between healing yourself and your past and business success.
Wow.
So what happened then was, all the women that I knew that I'd networked with or knew from different entrepreneur groups we were in online, they saw how fast my business just shot. And I'm talking, I was on 3K months. Mm-hmm. And then within a few months, I'm on 15K months. By the end of the year, I'm on 6-figure months, right? It was really fast how things just exploded. And they just said, "What did you do?" Like, they just saw everything popping off, and they were like, "Well, what did you do? We want it." And so my work found me in that respect. My niche found me, and I started to particularly apply my own healing work, my own healing journey to working with other women to help them heal.
Incredible. And it almost feels like you're removing all the pressure we put on ourselves at work to perform, to do more, that hustler that happens to so many women just getting stuck. I just got to work harder. I got to do more hours. I got to call more people. Yeah. And to go inward like that. And we're completely detached from what was happening at work because you were just doing it on a personal level.
Yeah. I say first came love and then came money. No, because when your heart is open to love, truly open to love, your heart is open to receiving everything.
Yes.
So the money comes a lot easier. So I was someone that could not hold money, could not save money, worked 3 jobs through university, did a lot, had a business and a social work job, and still didn't have a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
But the more I healed myself, mm-hmm. the more I was also able to hold money. So I actually went from somebody that could barely keep any money in savings to a cash millionaire.
Within a few years? It was a short time frame.
I left my social work job to go all in on my business in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And by 2021, I was a cash millionaire.
Wow, Natasha.
It was fast.
Crazy. What were you doing? Yeah, give us a guess. What were you doing to heal yourself, and where were you finding the ways to heal yourself? Was it very intuitive? It would come to you? What was the process like?
I trained in a couple of other modalities, clinical hypnotherapy. So started to explore subconscious work. That really was a turning point for me.
Yes.
But trained in those methods, but felt like something was missing. So I was getting my subconscious work at one place, and then I was getting my spiritual healing a different place. Oh. And it was actually the combination. And also I noticed a few things that were missing from my previous knowledge in social work and my own experiences of what helped me heal the most. And this was this relational piece. Everyone focuses on healing from the experiences they went through, but nobody looks at healing from the people that hurt you. Mm-hmm. There was this additional layer that I started to integrate into my own subconscious healing sessions with people, and also spiritual healing. I was incorporating that in to something then, which became its own modality, HeartHealing.
HeartHealing, yes. I love Alyssa. I've been working with her for years. And I have to say, Natasha, when she's like, I'm thinking about doing this heart healing training work with Natasha, and I've taken a few of your courses and I follow you on social media. So I'm like, I know this woman knows what she's talking about, but it sounded a little like, okay, let's see. And then I did the first session because I'm always open to try anything.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow. There really is something to this.
I know the name Heart Healing. It does sound a little fluffy. I will be like totally. It was actually originally called Success Imprinting.
Oh, interesting. And then what's made the switch?
Well, when I started training practitioners, I trained them in the first part of Success Imprinting, which was Heart Healing.
Okay.
And then the name stuck. Nobody wanted to call it Success Imprinting. And then this whole mission and purpose around the heart and healing the heart came from that. So I think it was always meant to be that way. But the original name was definitely a lot more aligned to, I'd say it had a bit more masculine energy to it.
I think that.
More of the sciencey name.
Mm-hmm.
So really, Heart Healing is success imprinting. We imprint success on every level, mind, body, heart, soul.
Mm.
Do that through a combination of spiritual and scientific techniques. Is that uniting of the both? Yes.
I love when those two come together. I find it very fascinating. Heart Healing is very catchy, though. It's a very catchy name. And once you go here, like, oh no, this makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Doing, and it's always so interesting who comes up when you go through it. But yeah, Alyssa, we tend to give new clients a heart healing session with Alyssa because as they're talking, we can start to see, all right, there's been some trauma here that are getting them stuck in this level of wealth, this pattern. Right.
Yeah.
So we bring Alyssa in, and it's great to see how many people are more and more open to it.
That's good.
So nice to see. Yeah, let's go into the heart healing. You talk about, and I read your book, and you just had a new book came out too, right? When Women Heal.
There is a book called When Women Heal. That is our first book, actually. But the new one that came out just a couple of weeks ago is When Hearts Heal. Yeah.
And I read your next 6 figures. I read When Women Heal. Both incredible books. I would recommend both to everybody who is watching here as well. But in your book, your next 6 figures, you take us through the heart healing process and explain there's different levels, archetypes, saboteurs.
Yeah.
How did you create this, Natasha? Where did it come from?
The truth is, it all came from my own personal journey. Mm-hmm. Everything I create comes from my own personal journey because I really believe that what comes through us, through our personal journeys, is actually part of our soul purpose. So I noticed these sabotaging patterns that I had in my business.
Okay.
The ways I was holding myself back. And then when I was working with clients, I was starting to see, oh, okay, everybody seems to have these same patterns. Mm-hmm. I realized they were archetypes that we all have. So I call them the success saboteur archetypes. And they are the physical manifestation of our heart wounds. So for example, if you've got a deep wound of the heart around love and not believing that you're lovable, or that you're lovable unconditionally, then that activates the overgiver saboteur in you, where you start trying to win love through pleasing and undercharging and all of these things. So your saboteurs are essentially how your heart wounds will show up physically in the world through you, in the actions and the ways that you sabotage yourself.
Wow. Well, thank you for going through the work yourself and then bringing it to all of us. The one that really hit home was you talk about a moment in the book. You had an incredible amount of success, right? Your highest month, or was a period of months, and then a sabotager comes out. And talk to us about that. And I applaud you for sharing it, because that happens to successful women all the time, and then they almost get scared of the success that's coming.
Yeah.
And they keep themselves small. What happened in that moment of your life, in your business?
I feel like there's been so many of those moments. Honestly, every new level you go to, these wounds and saboteurs, they come up again, but in slightly different ways.
Okay.
But what one key moment I can remember is when I had a 500K month in my business. And it almost felt like lots of things went wrong. I know, how insane, isn't it, to even for that to even happen?
Just feel that amount of wealth right now, women. $500,000 in a month.
Yeah, but that felt a little bit too much to my nervous system, I think, because so the way I view healing is the more we heal, the more our capacity expands. So
I like that a lot.
capacity to hold everything, including wealth. Of course, you are the wealth queen. And so as I have healed over the years, different layers, my capacity to hold, receive, and hold more has just expanded and expanded and expanded. So the healing I did to be able to hold 10K months and a loving relationship is a very different level of healing to holding 100K months and a loving relationship. Then this 500K month happens, and I knew it was going to happen. I bought my bottle of champagne at the start of the month, ready to have at the end when I hit the 500K, because I knew I am a little bit psychic, but I just knew it was going to happen. And it did happen. And then I call it the series of unfortunate events, like lots of things in both personal life and business.
Yes.
That happened around that month. And even though it wasn't the success's fault, part of my brain associated it to the success. And so part of me started to say, that's dangerous. That level of money, that level of success is dangerous, and I don't want it.
Yeah.
And so I then had to go on a journey of healing what was causing me to feel this way and think this way. And I have not yet had a 500K month since. I'm still on that journey. But I've had 300K months, 350K months since. I just haven't reached that pinnacle again yet. I always like to add the word yet in. But a similar thing happened after my first 100K month. So my first 100K month happened, and it almost shows you where the weak foundations are to hold that level.
Yes.
And that's kind of what happened with the 500K month too. So the 100K month, oh, okay, whoa, this was a lot. I couldn't hold that level. So my income dipped afterwards. But then around 6 months later, I started to have consistent 100K plus months. It's almost like I needed to see what were the shaky foundations in me and also in business. And then I was then able to do the healing that I needed to do and the strategic pieces I needed to do to get there and for it to feel safer.
Yes.
And to be able to actually hold it. And I would say more women have a fear of success than they do of failure.
I would agree. I could see that, Natasha. And just your perspective alone, you can tell it's such a healthy perspective to see these things are happening. It's showing me where I have work to do on my healing. And instead of being upset about it, frustrated, it's like, no, it's just part of the journey, part of the process. So it sounds like you're never done healing. With each new level of wealth, they're going to come up just maybe in different ways, but you're so aware of it and proactively helping to manage it as you grow.
Oh, I'm human like everyone else. I get the spiral. Oh, what's happening? Like maybe I've lost my marital, like all of the saboteurs come out. And what happened was I just discovered a new saboteur that I wasn't aware of until that happened to me. And it's probably actually the most important one of them all. And it's called the overprotector.
The overprotector. Okay. What is it? Take us into the overprotector.
So the overprotector is the part of you that believes that it isn't safe to be successful or more successful than what you currently are.
Amen. Yes. I have a daily mantra of may I feel safe with the blessings that are coming in, with the opportunities, with the wealth for it. You're right. I mean, that hit home for me, Natasha.
Yeah, safety really is the foundation of everything. Even though I always integrated it into my work, it never had its own standalone highlight saboteur. And so now anyone who comes into my programs, they always have to heal that overprotector first, because it stops you having the maximum success from healing the others.
Okay.
As if you're scared of the success, even though you might be doing the healing, you're not going to let yourself fully receive it if you don't feel safe to have it, right?
Makes sense. It makes sense, Natasha. I love how you break this down. It is a beautiful, beautiful journey for it. We are going to take a brief break before we're going to go into the movie Natasha was just in. What's next for her business? You don't want to miss this, ladies. But let's take a look at her newest book at Pink Fix Productions, Financial Trendsetters 2, because that season of Women Behind the Millions is coming up right after these Divine Disruptors. What happens when 13 powerhouse women in finance share their stories? You get Financial Trendsetters 2, a bold, inspiring collection from women who are reshaping the financial industry from the inside out. These aren't just advisors, they're creators, connectors, trailblazers. Each chapter reveals the real stories behind their rise, how they're building wealth, redefining leadership, and creating a lasting, iconic legacy. Sharing their real stories of growth, grit, and owning their brilliance. Proceeds from sales of Financial Trendsetters 2 go to support a scholarship for young women entering finance. Available now on Amazon. All right, we are back with Natasha Leigh Bray, who just in a movie has 3 best-selling books that are out. And we talked a little bit about how did you get married on Richard Branson's island? How did you manifested that? You said, how did I'm too curious. I can't let it go, Natasha.
I know. It's really, I'll try and shorten the story, but I was there for a mastermind trip, and it was meant to be pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, and obviously it got moved till the end of the pandemic. Sorry for mentioning that word. I know a lot of us want to forget about that time. But my partner ended up coming too. We had planned that to happen because it's like a once in a lifetime thing, going to Richard Branson's island and spending time with Richard Branson. And so originally we planned for him to come, and then we decided no, that just I was going to go because I had a baby by the end of the pandemic, another child. So it just wasn't as convenient for both of us to travel to Richard's Island. But some circumstances happened, and in the end, he did come. We managed to get the grandparents involved to look after the kids. Yes.
Parents.
Yes. And all those, oh my God, it was like, it's so hard to describe the place. It kind of ruins any other holiday that you go to afterwards because nothing.
On top of that.
Nothing compares. There's like flamingos flying around. There's monkeys running around. There's little tortoises in the bar while you're there's just everything about it is just so like magical. That's the only way I can describe it. And on the last night, we had a future you party. And myself and Blake, we didn't bring anything other than my partner Blake. We just thought, well, what is the future? It's just we're a married couple, you know, like that is what we couldn't think of anything for the future year. And we kind of joked that we're going to dress up as husband, so like the bride and the husband. And we didn't bring anything for this, by the way. It was a joke. And then the person we were talking to was like, well, I am a shaman and I can do a spiritual wedding ceremony for you. And we were like, what? And then somebody else was like, well, I used to be a wedding singer and I could sing you down the aisle. And another person was like, well, I'm doing the photography. I'll take some photos. And then somebody else made a bouquet. Somebody else gave me gold to wear. And all of these people just came together. And we ended up having this wedding. It was the Mayan Day of Love. What is the chances of that? And we got married in a spiritual... Somebody also had a wedding tie-in robe. Why would you bring that on a mastermind trip? It was so bizarre. You couldn't even make it up. It sounds so bizarre. And so we got married under the full moon on the Mayan Day of Love.
How beautiful.
In this spiritual ceremony where one of the ladies sang me down this boat deck, which was the aisle. It was so like surreal. That's the only way I can describe it. And so, yeah, there's not many people that can say they got married on Richard Branson's island, I guess.
That is full stars aligning. Everybody had the right people at the right place.
Yes, it was so strange, but in a really fun
Quick distance. Yeah. Incredible. Incredible. So then let's go into the movie.
Yeah.
Is limitless a mantra of yours? It is kind of a notion that you personally live by of just there's no barriers, there's no limits to how far I can expand, to how much I can hold.
Yes. I would say so much of what I have achieved and received in my life and my business on paper, I should never really have been able to receive all of this, not based on the background I had, where it came from, the support that I didn't have, I guess. And so I have seen so many things, even my children. I was diagnosed infertile, and I now have 2 children. And so
Beautiful.
I really believe in miracles. A lot of miracles have happened for me. So when I think about a limitlessness, yes, absolutely. But the thing that gets in the way of our limitlessness is our humanness.
Ooh,
And
yes.
so that's where the healing piece comes in. Because the more you heal your human wounds, the more you're able to connect to the spiritual self, the spiritual guidance that is allowing you to become limitless.
Yes. And the way that you talk about miracles and you say the word over and over again, people don't talk about miracles. They don't say the word. And maybe that's part of it is integrating it into and seeing miracles, acknowledging miracles, being grateful for miracles. Do you think that's had an impact on your work?
So I personally, until I was in the film Zero Limits, which is all about the real secret to attracting miracles. Personally, I don't use that word a lot until more recently.
Okay.
But starting to, maybe because you say it's not a word that we use commonly, but actually starting to see that these are miracles. These are not normal things, but that everyone has the potential to tap into those miracles.
I love it. It's attainable to anybody. And there are miracles happening all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, but we're just not calling them out as those things.
Anything that is manifested, I view as a miracle.
I like that. There you go.
You know, my baby, my partner, my success in my business, the fact that I get to help and impact so many people. How did I'm literally from this tiny town in Wales. Nobody's ever heard of the place. I was the kid that nobody wanted to be friends with in school. I was not popular. I don't have any background in business. How did I create all of this success and impact? Like, I just truly, I didn't do it alone. It was with divine guidance. I truly believe that.
Yes. Well, there's also a piece of being humble enough to admit these things, right? And to be modest. And even in the Bible, it says, right, God doesn't like when we're proud, like that pride, the ego side of it. So it's you shaved away the ego side as much as we can to be more in the divine and to acknowledge that I'm not doing this alone. I'm doing it with the divine and them guiding me and co-creating together.
If there was one thing that I could say was the biggest contributor to my success, it is the co-creation piece. Every single successful thing I create is successful because I'm focusing on impact and I'm asking for help to create that impact.
I'm asking for impact. I'm going for impact and I'm asking for help. That is pull quote. Strong quote. That's what we should all be doing. All should be living by. I'm going for impact and I'm asking for help. It takes time to listen to get that help.
Yeah. What I've seen every time is if you are trying to do something just for the money or just because you want the money or the outcome, it won't flow. It won't come to you. When you are coming purely from the heart, like how can I impact someone today? Not how can I make money today, right? How can I impact someone today? What do my audience need from me right now? How can I make a difference? And then you're given the answers that lead to huge impact, but also huge income.
And it all leads to that. Yes. Yeah. And you can tell right away when somebody's posting because they're posting to be seen. to be heard versus doing it as a service and to help and from the heart. You can-
Definitely. Yeah, and also we're all human. There's always times where people can slip into scarcity. And, you genuinely might need to pay the bills, but it's always trying to come back to taking the action from the right space, from the heart, rather than from, I need this and, all the figures that might be coming out.
Is there some sort of grounding exercise you do, Natasha, before, let's say you're leading into a launch or book launch, the movie launch, so that the actions that you're doing are from your heart?
It's more a small daily practice for me, and I always notice and feel a difference in me and in my business when I'm not doing these small daily practices. And it's really simple. I actually have got them right next to me. This is called the 5-minute journal. You can get it on Amazon.
Oh, okay. 5-minute journal. Mm-hmm.
The company's called Intelligent Change. I always joke that I should have shares in their company because I promote their journal so much.
I know. Do you get an affiliate link or something on Amazon?
I don't have shares in their company. No, I just love the journal so much.
That's cool.
The first time I ever had one was when I had postnatal depression after having my son.
Okay. Wow.
And I call it my manifesting book because every day I'd have to write my gratitudes and what I most wanted to what I wanted to achieve that day, and affirmations. So it's really simple. You just spend a couple of minutes in the morning, a couple of minutes in the evening. But I guess it was my first example of healing in a way. I didn't know how powerful it was going to be at the time. And I've still used it ever since. That was 2017. And I have bought a new diary every time, mine as well. And as I say, it's a manifesting book. So it's what I'm grateful for. So every day I'm saying 3 things I'm grateful for. Mm-hmm. But I write them as manifestations. I'm grateful for the thing that I am wanting to manifest, right? So as if I've already got it. Oh. I'm here, what would make today great? A lot of the time I'm feeling
like that.
Yeah, and a lot of time for that one, I'm making sure they're impact related, that my client sessions go really well, or if I'm delivering something that is really powerful. Mm-hmm. So I use this every day. And I pull an oracle card. I've got my own HeartHealing ones, and I've got a couple of other decks I just pull one oracle card. That's my guidance for the day. Mm-hmm. And when I am 100% on the ball with all of my little daily rituals, I do an 11-minute, 11-second silent meditation.
11 minutes, 11 seconds. You like 11:11?
Yes, because that is an angel number. But I do a silent meditation and I ask for guidance during that meditation. And just sometimes I just almost receive almost like energy healing, and other times I'll get information about an offer or what I need to do that day or what message I need to put out, things like that.
Yeah, just creating that quiet space. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you're that energy, almost that reset, that grounding. Sometimes you're getting information or you're co-creating, right? You're getting ideas, it's flowing for it too. And how long have you been doing this for? These little practices? I mean, you said one since you were pregnant?
Since just after I had my baby, yeah. Yes, yeah. And I do notice a difference in me and in how financially successful I am when I am not doing those practices.
Yes, because, and I see this happening even with myself, right? The success starts to come and then you get too busy and you lean off of them and then chaos happens. Like, well, I got to get back to I call it a daily money practice. So I do something, a page of gratitude, a page of what I'm calling in, a page of prayers, and then I do a meditation afterwards. And what a difference that makes.
Yeah. Well, it makes a huge difference. And I do say this to my clients. It sounds really simple and it doesn't take a lot of time. I'm too busy to spend hours and hours doing daily practices, but it has a significant impact. I'm always more successful when I'm doing those. What happened though, when I had that 500K month and the series of unfortunate events was, one of the things I went through is I was publicly attacked online.
Oh, gosh.
So this is why doing the film was such a big thing for me, because I'd gone through a really bad visibility trauma, and then to go from that to being in a film is like the complete opposite. But
yes,
I blamed my spiritual connection, because the thing I was attacked for was very much something I felt spiritually guided to put out into the world. Mm. And I disconnected from my spirituality as a result of that trauma. And so a lot of my journey, probably for the last couple of years, really was finding my way back to that spiritual connection again.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that, because this happens a lot with people, and maybe you've lost a loved one, right? And you get angry, right? Why did this happen? Especially if it's young or unexpected. And God, divine, they can take it, right? They can take the anger. They can take us being angry at them. But He also loves it when we find our way back and celebrates and rejoices. So thank you for that. You had that happen, but you have found yourself going back on that path.
Because I felt lost without it. It was almost like I needed to remember what it was like to not have that in my life, because I'd had it for so long.
Oh, interesting.
And so, dark night of the soul, all these things happened.
Yep.
Success did not flow at all. I was in no man's land. And it still made 7 figures a year. So it wasn't working the same way anymore. Things didn't feel the same way anymore. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think it was a reminder really of how important that spiritual connection, that connection to something higher is.
Yes.
And also another realization I had from it was when I had done the first filming day for the Zero Limits movie, I just received this message after that day. The universe is like a mother bird. Sometimes it'll push you out of the nest to show you that you can fly.
That was your push.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Wow. And I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite part of being in this movie, in the project?
Oh, favorite part. Oh, that's so hard. There were so many good parts, so many favorite parts. Meeting Joe Vitale himself, who's, a legend in the industry.
Yes.
And meeting some other incredible people as well at being part of this. But I think my favorite part was just also having my family in the movie as well. So having them be able to be a part of that experience. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually running a UK premiere just so my children can come as well and experience being movie stars and have their own little cup.
The bragging rights at school they're going to have.
But yeah, there were so many parts. The fact that I got to meet some incredible people, got to include the special people in my life in that too. Mm-hmm. And now my favorite part is people watching it and the feedback that is coming from that too, and how impactful it is for them.
It's going to change lives. It really is. I mean, your work already has. And then this movie, to be able to get this resource out there and plant the seeds, and then they get to work with you or one of your many certified heart healers around the world for it too. And it's so cool when the kids get to see the work that you do. Right? They hear about it, they see behind the scenes, but then to see it come to life like that and to be a part of that is so special, Natasha, as well. Yeah. What do you see happening next for your career and your business? What's cooking? What do you got? I know you're working on something. You probably are always like creative juices flowing.
Yeah. So one of the reasons, or probably the main reason I said yes to being in the movie was to really increase awareness of heart healing for my practitioners, not just for me, but because it's still quite unknown in the wider world. It's but we're raising awareness, we're increasing awareness of it, but it's still quite a known modality in some respects, which is great if you're trained in it because you're one of a very small pool of just a few hundred practitioners in the world who are trained in it. But when I first I received guidance that heart healing was my legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I was like, that makes no sense. Like, well, there's different legacy going on over here. If heart healing was actually my second business. But I received this download that heart healing is my legacy and that it would be mainstream one day. So this is the big vision, is to get heart healing as mainstream as hypnotherapy is one day. So that's the big vision that I'm working towards.
And being in the, so validating too on the work that you're doing and the credibility behind what you're doing, the proof, it's amazing. And to see what you co-created now is on the big screen. It's a full circle moment for you too. Take us into the newest book, When Hearts Heal. What is in this book?
Oh, it's probably my favorite book, actually. Oh, I shouldn't say that because I've got my own.
It's a lie. They're like your babies, right? So it's hard to.
It is. It's my third child. So it is a collaboration book. And what we have myself writing an introductory chapter all about the heart and the importance of healing the heart, the science and the spirituality behind why it works and how it works. And that sort of introduces and leads into 18 other heart healing practitioners who are all experts in different niches that they weave healing the heart into. So we've got chapters on the heart of grief, the heart of finding your voice, the heart of ADHD, the heart of false masculinity, the heart of reinvention, so reinventing yourself. There's just different topics of the heart, and every author shares their expertise and a bit of their healing journey also around each topic.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
I will be reading it this weekend at the beach for 4th of July. I cannot wait to dive into it. I love anthology books. I read your last one and I loved connecting with the readers online afterwards and seeing, you get a little bit of what their life is like and their work, and then you get to see them on social media and see all the different things that they're doing. And it makes for such a fun, quick read, hearing different stories with each chapter too.
Yeah. And each one is so powerful in its own right. We've got the heart of wholeness, the heart of perfectionism. There's just so many different topics. There's something for everyone there. And actually, out of all of the books, the 3 that I've launched to date, that one sold the most in 1 week. It was 1,000 copies in all, which is insane. Insane.
Amazing. Clearly a bestseller. Everybody go and grab it. Great summer read for it too. I know we're coming to a close. I've taken up so much of your time, Natasha. I'm very grateful for all of it. How are you starting to use the work that you do and the healing work with your children? Because everyone always, how do we talk to them about this? How do we get them aware of these things? Because we're raising a different generation. We have so much more resources and awareness to we're talking about like the scientific side of it and the spirituality side of it. We're talking more about the spirituality side of it as well. So I think our children are going to be the most intuitive of the generations. So how are you doing it at home?
So that is a good question. So yeah, my 2 children are very spiritual. I love that and encourage that with them. So interestingly, the heart healing cards, they love them. They absolutely love oracle cards. But these are just heart healing. They're based on the heart healing modality. And I actually designed a children's card deck.
Oh, I gotta get them. Oh my gosh. Okay.
They haven't been printed yet, but they will be out soon. And I did it with my eldest child. So he was involved in creating the illustrations.
No.
What he wanted. And so we've got our heart healing card deck, which is very much based around the modality. So for example, you've got quality time and they will pick their cards.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Great.
I just give them a child-friendly version of what it means, But we've got the kids deck come in. And So that
wait.
it's been on the back burner for a while, but I think it's about time that it comes out into the world, because I couldn't find much actually in terms of resources to help children with their healing.
Yes.
And so the card deck, I thought, would just be seeing how much the kids loved them and were interested in them. They go, Oscar, my littlest, he's 3. He's like, what does this one say, Mummy? What does this one say? And he wants to learn about all the cards, and they all have a very powerful healing message about abundance or, quality time and feeling safe, or, there's so many different things there. That you're enough, all of these things that I never really got taught any of this stuff as a child,
Yes. Oh, I cannot wait. We will have to get that out to everybody when that card deck comes out. My daughter is very into this kind of stuff, and I have a card deck at home that she loves to play around with and see. And I've been told from a few people that one of my children's going to be a medium. So I think it's going to be her, but she's older, so it's easier to say. We'll see. I do think this generation is going to be very spiritually in tune. Wow, Natasha, we have one more question for you.
Okay.
What makes you a woman behind the millions?
Is that your daughter?
She loves to say, like, your kids are movie stars, that she's on a TV show. So there's her segment.
What makes me a woman behind the millions?
Yes.
Oof, that's such a hard question, actually. I feel like I am just, this sounds so strange, but this is the answer this comes to mind. I am just a woman. I'm just like you. Like, anyone can be a woman behind the millions. And I think just seeing that people with this level of wealth and money are just normal human beings, gone through the things that you've gone through, still go through the things that you go through. Like, I believe that anyone can be the woman behind the millions, and being your authentic self is the route to that.
Ooh, beautifully said. Being authentic brings you the millions, ladies. Intertwining healing and the spirituality. I know this is part of what you preach. It's all over your website, right? What are the secrets? It's healing and spirituality, and then it's combining both of them. And that allows you to be authentically you, because you're not scared. You're not letting the insecurities run rampant. You can stand up in your power.
Yeah. And also the very basic premise of spirituality is being your authentic self. So the more we heal, the closer we connect to who we really are, the closer we connect to our spirituality through that journey too.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much, Natasha. We went through so much. Your healing, as you healed, you had got more success. The healing for your children, right? As moms, we know, we don't want our kids to go through what we went through. Healing to break those multi-generational patterns, going for impact, asking for help, being in your movie, your 3 best-selling books. Thank you for being a divine disruptor. That is our title that we are dubbing you, the divine disruptor. You are incredible, Natasha, and I can't wait to see where you go from here. And the change that you are impacting, bringing to this world is incredible. So thank you so much. Thank you for spending so much time with us here on Women Behind the Millions.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, ladies, for watching. Thank you, Money Queens. Make sure to stay tuned for our newest season of our show, where we're going to look at our financial trendsetters. Hey, Money Queens, looking to get your wealth to that next level, 7, 8, 9 figures? Follow us on Instagram at PinkFixMyMoney and at Women's Wealth Boutique for more millionaire money tips.